Thanks for checking out this movie review video. This is for the 2022 film Speak No Evil. It's a Shudder original, and it's coming to Shudder on Thursday, September 15th. So this is a no spoiler review for that reason. Um, I do recommend seeing this film, but there's a big issue with it. There are a few issues I found with the film, but there's one massive issue that some people may not be able to get past. Hopefully, it's just the screener copy I was given, but I'll talk about that in a second. First, let's cover this film. Directed by Christian Tafdrup, who also directed Parents, A Horrible Woman, and Darterapi, or I'm sorry, Parterapi. Also written by Tafdrup as well as Mads Tafdrup, who also worked on A Horrible Woman, Parterapi, and Yes, No, Maybe. This is a Danish and Dutch film, just so people know. There is a little bit of language in, well, not a little bit, a little bit more than a little bit in Danish, no Dutch, and it's not subtitled. So that's a problem. So the good news is, for people who don't like subtitles, the majority of this film, the overwhelming majority of this film, is in English, so you don't need to read subtitles. The bad news is there are plenty of times where it's in Danish and there are no subtitles, so you don't know what people are saying. That said, you can still watch the film and still enjoy it, with missing those little things, because you can kind of just try and look at, the body language of the actors, how they're interacting with each other. You can kind of figure out what's going on, but I really do think that they should have done subtitles on those. Just saying. There are a few odd choices from a technical standpoint I really do not get with this. Again, Shudder original, coming Thursday, September 15th. Quick synopsis: it's about a Danish family that meets a Dutch family when they're both on vacation. Then the Dutch family invites the Danish family, if you don't know, that's Denmark and Netherlands. The Dutch family invites the Danish family to the Netherlands to come and stay with them for a little bit and be like, hey, we had such a good time when we met up, let's hang out. Things are great, and then there are little cracks that kind of start and things kind of devolve, and it's a horror film, so I'm not going to say too much more, but you can have an idea of where things are going to go. You're not going to know the specific events that end up happening, but you'll get the gist. You'll know. The opening music is filled with dread and pretty over the top, unfortunately. The music composition in this film is good. It is appropriate. It's good. The volume of music in this film is very inappropriate. It is extremely over the top. It is cranked way higher than the dialogue level. So a lot of audio issues with this film. A lot of audio issues with this film. The audio is garbage in this movie. That said, everything other than the music, all the audio sounds like it's recorded in a hallway. There is a slight echo to it. It sounds very tinny. This is some of the most garbage audio I've heard in a film in a while. And that sucks, because otherwise this film is pretty good. From a technical standpoint, the acting is really good. The directing is really good. The cinematography is really good. The lighting works well. The music composition, like I said, is good. It's just they have a lot of audio problems with this film. Now, I'm hoping that's just a problem with the screener copy that I was given, but I can only rate this film on what I'm seeing, what's being put in front of me, because I have to believe that that's the version that's going to be put on Shudder. If it is the version that's put on Shudder, shame on whoever had anything to do with the audio with this film, because it is really inexcusable, in my opinion. Now, I'm going to try and put that past me, put that behind me. Once you get past that, which I had to, it really took me out of the film in the beginning, because I was like, what is going on? But once you get past that, you settle into the film. You start really following the story. You get kind of wooed into it by, like I was saying, the directing, the cinematography, the acting, which the acting performances are very good. Very, very good acting in this film, which is key for this type of film, the story, because there's just a lot of, character interaction. They really need to sell it. They really need to make these relationships feel real and the tensions feel real, and they really, really do. One of the things I do like about the film is that it kind of slowly starts this progression of, You know, these couples meet, everything's really good. They're getting along so well. And then as they spend more time with each other, as they learn more about who each other are, little conflicts happen, little issues come up, and then it just kind of gradually progresses like from there. It feels realistic for how slowly they do it, and it helps with kind of a good tension building, in my opinion. That said, I do think overall the film is a little off on its pacing. I do think a little bit should have been cut out because the progression of, issues coming up and the deterioration of the relationship there, it starts to stagnate at times because they start to kind of rehash some of the same stuff over and over again, which they really didn't need to. So they should have kind of cut a little bit of that out for, making the pacing better and kind of cutting the runtime down. It's not a long runtime. It's like an hour and 37 minutes with credits and everything. So it doesn't feel super long except for those moments where it's like rehash and it's slowing down a little bit too much, but not too bad in that situation. There is some cool imagery in the film that I really, really enjoyed. Another thing that I really enjoyed is there are a lot of different shooting locations that they used in this film that all look beautiful in their own way. They're very different and they stand opposite of each other, but they're very beautifully shot. They look beautiful. They're very interesting to look at. So visually, it's a very nice visual film. It's kind of dark though. A lot of the stuff is in the dark. There's not a whole lot in daylight, so if that bothers you, although they did light it well, so just know that. Things in the film feel very cozy, but small things pop up. I like how relaxed they make the audience feel after the initial sequence of the film, and just like it gets you to like let your guard down a little bit, feel cozy, relax, and then the little bits that start to come up within the relationship just feel also little to you as an audience member, so you're kind of experiencing what the main characters would also be experiencing at that point. So I think it's executed well in that sense. I do dig the reveal of what's actually going on in the film. Like, what's the big thing that we're going to end up getting to? The reveal was done quite well. What's actually going on is good. It's a good idea. There's a great concept here. The script, for the most part, is very well executed. So I liked it. And the other thing is, like, it's not easy to reveal what your big thing in a film is in an effective and impactful way, but they did that. So, and it was more of like a show don't tell type thing, which is perfect. Like, that's the way you should do it. Show don't tell. So it worked quite well. There is a solid gore gag toward the end of the film. Like I said before, like I say gore gag, I mean like it's not supposed to be funny. It's just, it looks pretty realistic. It might be a bit painful for some people to watch because of what it is, the nature of it, but it is very well executed. It had the impact it was supposed to have, I'll say that. After something major happens towards the end of the film, they end up sticking with the two characters in particular, and showing kind of their reactions to what was going on, and they stick with them for a while. Now, I was wondering if it was going to start to feel like it was just going on too long, but it actually worked really well for them to just kind of stick with them, because you're then very, very focused on their reaction, and their reaction starts to then make the audience feel certain ways, and that helps with the impact of what's going on within the film. So, yeah. I mean, the filmmaker obviously knows how to make people feel things, especially make people feel things they don't want to feel. And that's the sign of a good filmmaker. That's a sign of a good writer. There was a very impactful moment at the end of the film where they should have started the credits. They should have stopped the film after that really impactful moment, and that should have been the end. That's the way to leave your audience. But they actually kept it going, and everything after it was less impactful. It still had some impact, but the problem is, in comparison to the impact of this other event that I was talking about, it's not a better way to end the film, really. And after that one very impactful thing, they should have just been like, boom, credits, and just leave you with this just kind of like, whoa type moment. So just saying, small thing. Some people might not feel that way. The ending also may be a little much for some people. It is. I don't want to say too much about it. I want to be careful. It's unflinching, and I think that's part of what people are going to have an issue with potentially. It's going to make you uncomfortable, and once again, like I said, like it speaks to the good filmmaking and writing that I felt something I did not want to feel. Like it had significant impact on me, and I was just like, ooh, man. So like I didn't feel great, but afterwards I was like, man, that's well done to make me not feel great. So yeah, it's good. Again, the pacing is off, unfortunately. This film actually plays off of the issue that everyone kind of experiences in life, where you kind of like initially meet someone and the relationship is great, you guys love interacting, and then as you kind of settle into more of like a daily thing or weekly or whatever it is, you start to understand more of who the person is. You start to have conflicts. You guys don't agree on everything like you did initially. Because when you meet someone initially, like you're just focusing on what you have in common, what is good between the two of you. But then as people start to settle in, they're more apt to be more relaxed and kind of let more of themselves be known to the other person. And that will definitely cause conflict at some point. So I think it plays off that very common thing in life and brings it into the horror realm and, you know, really ratchets it up. And I think it works. It definitely works. So out of 5 stars with half stars in play, I'm going to give it a very good 3.5-star rating. Now, I probably would have gone 4 if the audio wasn't so horrendously terrible. I did consider knocking it down further because of the audio, because it is unforgivable. But the story is so strong. The directing, the acting, all that stuff is so strong that I had to give it 3.5 stars. So I still recommend it. That's a big deal. So would love to hear other people's opinions on this one. When you see it, you can go ahead and put it down in the comments. And we could do spoilers in the comments. Go ahead. So don't read the comments. You can leave a comment, but don't read the comments if you don't want spoilers. But go ahead. Also, do me a favor and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That would be wonderful. It's your best way to repay me if you like this video or any video I've ever done. It literally keeps me motivated, and it costs you nothing. It is quick. It is painless. $0. I appreciate it. Also, hit the notification bell button, because then you'll know when I'm putting up new videos, which I'm doing a good amount. I'm doing at least 4 a week, which I think is good. I'm putting in work here, you guys. But regardless, thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video, and until next time, keep it brutal.